Now let's talk about Indianapolis. So we're going to hear from actually our team that's in Indianapolis. They're going to be talking about why Indianapolis and talking about some of the reasons why it's a good place to be investing. But Brandon, talk to them real quick just about this map. Where generally, because in the video they don't talk about it, where are our clients acquiring real estate?
So you got it. So Indianapolis is really cool because there's a big, huge interstate that circles it. So it's kind of easy to point things out. I-465 is the belt loop that goes around the city. Really easy to get places in Indianapolis. Traffic is, not much of an issue that's there. It's great for us. But what we kind of try to look for, this is obviously downtown Indianapolis here. The areas that we typically buy in, again, as we kind of talked about a little bit before, we generally try to stay on the outside loop of the I-465. So we're basically kind of starting up here just outside the Castleton area, and we basically buy all along here in Lawrence Township, Franklin, down here in Greenwood, which is just barely off the map. We do a lot of purchasing in. Speedway area just on the outside has been great for us in Claremont, and we go up to about almost Eagle Creek, and then the pricing just gets a little too high to make a lot of sense. But we're typically on the outside loop of the southern part of the belt is basically where we're buying, and we like kind of all those areas. As you go a little bit too far north into Fishers and Carmel, we just start to get priced out. And inside of the belt loop, it's either areas like Broad Ripple, things like that. If I don't know if people kind of know the Avenues type of area in Salt Lake. That's kind of what it's like. A lot of regentrification things going on, and it's either areas we don't want to be in that are cheap enough for the numbers to work, or they've been regentrified and the pricing now precludes doing rentals in them. So typically we're on that kind of outside. We don't do a lot on the inside of I-465.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay, so let's hear from the Indy team. You can get to meet them, and they're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in Indianapolis and why we're there.
Hi, I'm Jody Gandy, Managing Broker of Honor Realty, and this is Jeff Music with Homeworks Remodeling, and we are the Indianapolis team.
We wanted to welcome you to Indianapolis. We have our offices located right downtown. We do work all over Indianapolis and some of the surrounding counties as well. And so this is a nice central hub for us to work out of. I'd like to take a minute and brag about our city. It's very convenient. Everything's in close proximity downtown. You pretty much can walk to just about everything. Lucas Oil, where the Colts play, as you probably can see in the distance there. We've got the little round building, which is the field house. That's where our Indianapolis Pacers play basketball. So everything's kind of compact and easy to get to. We've got a large convention center. When we had the Super Bowl several years ago, they built a lot of underground tunnels and skyways so people wouldn't have to walk outside in the winter. It does get a little bit cold here in the winter time, so there's a lot of good infrastructure that was created during that time that helps drive a lot of the convention business even today. We are a very affordable city to live in. We are ranked one of the most affordable in the U.S. and very high as the most affordable in the Midwest as well. And so we wanted to talk a little bit about why you should invest in Indianapolis. We have a lot of things, I think, that work to our benefit. If you just look simply at some factors such as population growth, it is growing not only in population but also in business as well. We have very stable home appreciation. Everything is continuing to trend upward. Currently, we aren't at the low point, and we're certainly nowhere near the high point. Rental rates are continuing to appreciate as well. One thing that I wanted to talk about that drives that a little bit right now in the city of Indianapolis is that there is a shortage of homes available not only for renters but also for owner occupants as well. So that's continuing to push some of the home appreciation up and also the rental rates as well. We have some new housing starts that are increasing over the last few years. That probably will help balance things out in the future. New construction pretty much stopped 2009, 2010, but we're seeing a lot of that now, so that will help give it a little bit more of a balance. But as of right now, we're kind of at that good point as far as us investors, and we need to take advantage of it at this time. Another thing that helps to create the stability that we are known for in Indianapolis is having diverse employment. We do not rely on any one industry. We have a lot of different companies in a lot of different fields that kind of balance out the employment sector here in Indianapolis.
Yeah, we have from transportation to pharmaceuticals, we have a large emphasis on the educational workforce, and I think 70 colleges and universities
Yes.
in the surrounding area.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's no lack of. And then we also have a lot of manufacturing and transportation here in Indy. We have Eli Lilly, Rolls-Royce.
Yeah.
We have Cummins Engineering headquartered here, so there's just a wide variety of different employers.
Yeah, logistics is a huge industry here just because of the geographical location of Indianapolis. It is actually Indianapolis, within 1 day drive, you can reach 80% of the population in the United States. And that's a fact that I don't think a lot of people know. So it's a very convenient place to be located for large businesses. We have the second largest FedEx hub in the world is located here in Indianapolis.
And we're contending for the Amazon headquarters.
Yes.
See here.
Keeping our fingers crossed on that one.
That's right.
So along with all of those things that you have to consider when you're looking specifically at a market, I think another thing to also really focus on is the team that you're working with. You know, I have been investing in Indianapolis since 1999. Jody owns rental real estate as well. Our property management company not only is a brokerage, but they have licensed contractors, and they were licensed contractors as well before they went into the property management field. So there's just a lot of experience. We do what we suggest others do, and we personally invest here in this city. So I think that's another big factor not to, not to just discount and not think about. You want to make sure that the people that you're working with are doing what they ask you to do as well, which is what we do.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'd like to talk just a little bit about the process, so you get an idea and an understanding of what it is that we can do for you. And Jody, you want to talk about it?
Sure. So Jeff acquires the properties at different foreclosures, different auctions, and then we'll go in and do a very, very thorough renovation of the home. The average renovation is what, 20,000, 25?
Yeah, whatever it takes.
Depending on whatever the home needs. So not just cosmetics, but we're going in and doing a new HVAC system if needed, new roof, new windows, whatever the home needs to get it to be in excellent condition. And then, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, we do like to focus on providing turnkey rental properties as opposed to properties that need further maintenance and work down the road. Nobody has time for that. We take care of that.
And so I am a licensed broker, so I represent the buyer in the transaction. And so what I help you do is kind of go through the process very seamlessly, whereas you would identify a property as soon as the renovations are finished. We'd have a third-party inspection completed, and then the property management company would begin marketing the home for a tenant for you, even prior to closing. And so then we just kind of walk through this process with you. We've done hundreds of properties together. We work very well together.
Yep.
And the goal is for the client's best interest always to be at the forefront. That's why we have a lot of different sets of eyes on the home, between the renovators, myself, the home inspector, and also the property management company. So the goal is to provide you with a true turnkey rental property that will produce passive income and cash flow for you.
Well, that's a little bit about why it's a good idea to invest in Indianapolis. We've got a very strong energy in the city right now. There's just all kinds of development going on. There's businesses moving here. Downtown has become just a hub of activity over the last 15 years. It's kind of the focal point of the city now. So it's just the energy's strong. The climate is good. We're at the right time as far as our cycle in real estate. It seems like we're kind of right in the middle. So it's a great time to do it, and the time is right now.
So we look forward to working with you. Thank you so much.
Okay, so hopefully that was helpful to get to know the Indy team and sort of what that process looks like. Any questions on Indianapolis before we move into Orlando? Yes?
Specifically Indianapolis, when you're talking about the rehabbing, like $20,000, so is that added onto the price when you buy the house, or how does that work?
So basically for us, when we
Real quick, sorry, repeat the question so in case.
Oh, she's basically talking about rehab and was wondering if that's just in addition to the price that you're paying for the house or not. And so the vast majority of the houses that we do in Indianapolis, we use our in-house model, they call it. And that's basically where, you know, in this case, Jeff is sourcing the house or finding the house, whether it be from a foreclosure auction, county auction, sheriff's auction sale, a distressed asset just on the MLS, meaning that it's a short sale or something else that happened to the home that we're able to go in and buy the home at less, quite a bit less than market value. So at that point, then we're going in and doing the rehab. So basically for us, all of our houses need to appraise. The vast majority of our clients are actually putting loans on the houses. So as much as I'd love to be able to charge whatever I wanted, our clients for these houses, all of the houses have to be at or below market value so we can make sure that appraisal comes in at value. So that rehab that Jeff's talking about, that needs to be included in that final price of the home. So great question. In this instance, they're talking about those more extensive rehabs. That's all included in the buyer's final price. Yeah, so what they're paying shouldn't be anything else after that.